Hello, party people. It's me, OHhuntee. Today, we will be creating Sims for the Dizzy Sims Teen a Day Challenge. Now, if you're not familiar with this challenge, the challenge entails where you make a type of teen sim each day leading up to the release of the Sims 4 High School Years expansion pack. So, I'm 16 days behind. So let's get started. So here we have two random Sims for the number one challenge called Cheer Captain. Now, why do you have two Sims, you might ask? Well, here's the idea. While I create the Sims, I will be telling you a story. So these Sims are kind of loosely based off of the story, not totally, but in a way, I don't know. I thought it could be fun, and I suggested this on my Instagram and my Twitter page, and some people were interested, so I thought we'd go ahead and do it. So we'll probably call it something like Sims and Stories, something crazy like that. So the story was submitted through my Instagram by user Tim D. So thank you, Tim D, for allowing your story to be used. And let's just get started creating this, okay? So here we go. All right, so this title is called I'm Right. So girls, why are you here today? Of course, I knew why they were here. Two cheerleaders fighting over the high school quarterback. That's never happened before. As a high school counselor, I haven't heard it all, but I've heard a lot. Danielle stole my boyfriend. Stephanie was sure that punching Danielle would persuade her to give Ian back. So that's what she did. I was certain that if anyone needed punching, it was probably Ian. But only a thought on my part. The drama with Ian comes later in the story, so let's just get back on track. I didn't have to steal him. He was already mine. Unless we're talking about kidnapping someone, I'm at a loss for how you can actually steal a person. Being a high school counselor is challenging. And at 70, oh, never mind. And at 70, I've had a lot of experiences, maybe 5 times what two 16-year-old high school cheerleaders have had. But so what? This is not about me, even if I think I know where this is going. High school counselors don't have the liberty to recommend what someone should do, or worse, what they would do. My goal was to help the girls discover what they should do. We met at a party after the game with Lanier. Danielle was trying to establish a timeline. I fell in love with Ian at the Wilmington game a week earlier, Stephanie countered. Stephanie, why did you punch Danielle? Aren't you friends? Time to squash this notion of who met Ian first has anything to do with this. She wouldn't listen to me. I fell for Ian a week earlier. She acted like, so what? I don't care. And yes, we were friends. People break up all the time, even though they knew a person before someone else shows up. Danielle did my job for me right there, proving that who met who first is not the issue here. But Danielle getting with Ian just a week later had me thinking. Once I figured it out, I would have to get the girls to see it too. Then my job would be done. Girls, at what age do you think someone should stop trying to settle an argument with their fists? Simultaneously, they both agreed that after high school, you shouldn't resort to physical assault to try to win an argument. Technically, in high school, you shouldn't be trying to resort to physical violence anyway, but that's beside this point. I'm going to keep reading. We were making progress. They both agreed on something. Does getting physical with someone change their mind? I don't know, Stephanie replied. No, it doesn't. Made me more furious and more determined to stay with Ian, Danielle came back. We've got 30 minutes to resolve this before your next period. So let's recap where we're at. Does it matter who met Ian first? Like a chorus. The girls agreed on this point. No. Does getting physical with someone get them to do what you want them to do? again in tandem? No. A counselor's job is not to impart knowledge nor share their experiences. No one cares. Instead, a counselor mediates a conflict by leading both parties to look at an issue from the viewpoint of another. Remember, both people usually think they're right with the same conviction. So, who gets Ian? Silence. You girls been on a seesaw? Sure. What makes a seesaw work? Each person pushes off and they go up and down. Danielle was beginning to discover where I was going with my line of questioning. Is there anyone else who could back you guys up on your claim for Ian? My best girlfriend. She's sad and she's saying how much I'm in love. Stephanie knew she was right. The whole football team saw how Ian went after me. Danielle knew she was right. What happens if you go to the park and sit on the seesaw, but you don't have anyone else on the other end? It doesn't work. It takes two. Now Stephanie was figuring this out. Anyone else who could help us out here? Who could tell us who is more right? If there's any code of conduct to which a mediator must adhere, it's to not to interject themselves into the conflict at hand. Smart clients will try to force you and to tell them what they should do. But you must resist. A mediator takes no sides, passes no judgment, doesn't get involved. Instead, they simply give their clients the tools and insight to solve their conflict themselves. Is Ian a popular guy? Oh my God, yes, yes, yes. They both agreed. Another stepping stone when I could get these girls to agree. The Wilmingham and Lanier football games when the Wilmingham and Lanier football games. Did he win those games for the team? Yes, he did. Those games were how many weeks apart? They were a week apart, Stephanie remembered. Anything odd about that? Silence. Then Stephanie said to Danielle, Hey, Danny, I'm sorry I punched you. Really sorry. It's forgiven, girl. Remember the seesaw story? Yeah, it takes two to make it work. So again, is there anyone else we can think of who, if they were here, might help us clear all this up? They both said Ian at the same time. Stephanie, he was dating both of us at the same time. Boom. Danielle got it. You're right. Those two games were only a week apart. You're both right. How? The girl asked. Have you ever told Ian you loved him? Did he say it back? In all my years of counseling, I had seen several people who were in love with someone who might not have even known they existed. They were not into reciprocating that love. The person who is in love with the someone who isn't in love with them is sitting on the seesaw all alone. But again, as a counselor, I can't share that information. That is not my job description. 5 minutes before your next class. Are we okay? No more fighting with the wrong person? Friendships are too difficult to develop. Never risk losing that. Better, agreed Stephanie. Yes, I'll make better choices, Danielle added. Yes, and girls, next time, choose 2 different guys to date. One for each of you. Perfect. All right. Well, that again was submitted by Tim D. As we can see, the moral of that story being, watch out. And it's never okay to go to physical violence trying to get someone to do what you want them to do. And the bad guy in that situation was Ian, leading these both girls on and dating them at the same time, making them feel that one of them was more in love with him than the other. So, to be honest, I would have got Ian to come into that counseling session and we all would have got it all sorted out and everything like that. But that's just me. I think that's one of the reasons I chose not to create Ian in this video, because, it's not about them. Girls and women need to, empower each other. So, not lose it over a guy. So there's plenty of guys out there, plenty of guys that are going to be in high school and if they choose to go to college or wherever they work. So, but it's hard when you're in high school, you feel that your problems are the biggest problems you'll ever face when in your entire life. So we can get where they're coming from. But as we can see here with The Sims, I feel like the look of Danielle definitely shows like a confident person who, I could see Danielle feeling like the only way to stop her is to like use physical violence or anything like that. But, these both are beautiful girls and they should be focusing on their studies. Well, here is the finished look. Thank you guys so much for watching this first challenge video. I know this was like a shorter story, so let me know if you think that you would like a longer story, a longer video with a longer story. I'm pretty sure like the next couple of stories that I do, if I continue this, I will be making only one sim per video so that we can like dive in deep to like details of the sim and, have a longer story to accompany it with. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you are alerted for when the next Sims and Stories video comes out. I kind of like that. I think I'm going to go with that title. And we can just go from there. And if you have a story that you would like to be read and shared while I'm creating these Sims for the Teen a Day challenge, please email me or DM me through Twitter or through Instagram. I'll link both of my handles below so you can do that. And then check out the next video and other videos on my channel. So thank you all so much for watching. Love you guys.